hand it off to Diana and Jeannette, who are going to lead a conversation about identity, authenticity, and misconceptions.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana Ruano, and I am one of the co-founders of Alas Travel Co., focusing mostly on partnerships, growing the brand, marketing, and I will actually be leading a conversation with everyone that is in the room, so both Kiko and Jeannette. And it's really going to be focused around these pillars that we think are really important, especially for travel professionals that are looking to actually connect with their consumer. So more often than not, you've seen commercials that have gone bad. Pepsi is a prime example. And the thing is, it's like if you are really trying to be relevant in this changing landscape, and Kiko took us through all the different demographic trends that are happening, the sense of identity, where identity isn't as simple as people used to think that it was. What is it as a company, as a travel professional, that you want to be aware of so that you're not necessarily falling into those Pepsi pitfalls? And it's not just Pepsi, there's a lot of companies that you can refer to in the beauty industry. In travel, you saw the survey, the travel diversity survey that Ronnie was presenting, where 10% of people think that diversity is important in travel. That's exactly why Alas Travel Co. is in existence, because of that, so to challenge that. So everybody should have a worksheet. Does everyone have one? Yes. Okay, great. And if you don't, there's some extras over here. I'll put those at the end of the table. And Kiko, actually need your phone too. And there's also a worksheet. There's a worksheet that's going around for you to also sign in. So if you guys can take a seat, you'll be my panelist. So then that way everybody can kind of see you, and then you can sit.
Oh, we got, you need a chair?
Oh, should I finish?
Yeah.
Right, perfect. So, as we kick off this conversation, I also do want to say that it's meant to be an open space. So I want everyone to be comfortable interjecting in the conversation, sharing your perspective. It's a safe space. What happens in this room stays in this room, kind of thing. So I'm going to lead this conversation, and you have those worksheets in front of you so that you can really think about how you can apply this within your business or even within your own personal brand. So first of all, I'm going to introduce our co-host today, special guest that we have here, and she'll be really pivotal in sort of explaining a lot of like these elements of identity and authenticity and how that really plays a role. So Jeannette Seha is a travel journalist, a travel host, travel consultant, and global public speaker. And her passion for really unearthing the story behind the power of travel has put her on a path where she's interviewed many celebrities, travel professionals, experts, including Anthony Bourdain, Samantha Brown, Pauline Former, and Rick Steves. And most recently, she's been named a global ambassador for several nonprofits, including the Synergy of Empowered Women and Kind Traveler. So you were actually very fortunate to, at a very young age, have found your calling.
Yes. I was 12 years old when I wrote my first travel journal. So it's 19 years in the making. I grew up, it's funny because I was telling these young ladies, I grew up watching Samantha Brown as a little girl, telling my mom, Mom, I want to be her, I want to be her. But you know, as much I can identify with her as a woman, I couldn't identify, I didn't look like Samantha Brown, right? You know, and so for me it was, I always wanted to be the Latina Samantha Brown, so that other girls can watch and say, oh, you know, they can also identify with her or me. Yeah, so I'm very fortunate to have known travel is my calling, it's my purpose, it's my passion. I'm very passionate about women. I always feel like we should empower each other, inspire each other. I'm also very passionate about my heritage, my Mexican heritage. My family's from Mexico. My parents would send us to Mexico City as a baby, so I grew up with, you know, learning about my ancestors and that culture. And I also work in Latin media, so I'm bilingual, so I hablo español. So I like to host and report and write and cover stories in Spanish. I go to Mexico a lot. I just want to be a global citizen and a role model for everyone, women, Latinos, not Latinos, just everyone, that you can do it. So for me, it's I'm very passionate, very happy. So
Yeah, and that's and it's great because like a lot of your touch points throughout your life have really influenced your perspective as a travel journalist.
Yes.
So you talked about traveling to Mexico City since a very young age.
Yes.
You taught English in Australia.
Yes.
You also just take solo trips on a way.
Yes.
So how can you give us a little bit more perspective of how all of those experiences have actually shaped how you approach travel journalism from your lens, and how identity has really played a role throughout that and how it's evolved throughout your career?
Right. I can speak from being a woman, being a solo traveler on that aspect, also being, growing up, a lot of the times I felt self-conscious because people say, what are you? Like young kids, I'd be like, what do you mean, what am I? I don't know, I'm
Human.
Mexican, American, human.